Carolina is undefeated in ACC play, but will they be great on the other side of the coin? That is the football program. Week 1 schedule has dropped. ACC, are you ready for some football again? Who knows? But there are going to be some heavy hitters out the gate. We'll see and talk about it all with Kenton Gibbs on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download and subscribe to the pod from anywhere. If this is your first time joining, we always appreciate you being here with us. Please make sure that you dial up the fact that we have a YouTube page, subscribe to that page, and ensure that you are enjoying our community chats. After every episode, we always appreciate the commentary. It is quite lively, so make sure you check that out. Today's episode is going to be full of football, basketball, all the things. We've got week 1 scheduled to discuss, as well as Carolina already just trucking along on their way to an ACC title, maybe NCAA title. Who knows? But it feels good if you're a Tar Heel. It's a great day, if you will.
What a time. What an amazing time. No, seriously, though, the Tar Heels have been by far and away the best team in the conference. They look dominant. They are dominant. They have stars. They're starring their role. What more can you say about this team? I mean,
they're putting the conference on their back. Add that in.
All right. See, this is the problem. You can't say nice things. You know what?
I'm just saying. Are they not? I'd argue that they are.
They are the banner team in the conference. Absolutely. They're the banner team in the conference at the moment, and they're doing really, really good things this season. I'll tell you what, he's got this team returning to form.
Where are all my Hubert Davis apologists? Because they need to come front and center. Call them to the carpet.
Well, I don't think that everybody dislikes the president's on the court stuff, but that's neither here nor there. I agree. If you doubted this man's coaching ability after 1.5 years, especially when one of those years was taking a team to the Final Four, what more do you really want from the man? Yeah,
but that's not why we're here just yet. We're going to get more into that basketball play. The reason we're here is because the ACC decided, hey, let's tease y'all a little bit, drop week 1 of ACC football schedule and do all that fun stuff, which, of course, you get into your way too early debates. You already talk about who's going to come out the gate winning and who's going to start out hot and maybe who will miss at first at bat. And so let's go over all of that. And, we got a couple more teams to add to the fun. Right, Cal, LSU, Looking at you guys. Welcome to the party. We'll see how it goes and see if you guys are the last couple standing as we figure out if we're going to have a conference after the summer. But hey, for now, welcome. Let's start off with Thursday, August 29th, where North Carolina, who's been the hot topic of today's show already, is going to face off at Minnesota. Last season, they played Minnesota at home and was a decisive victory for the Heels on the road to what we thought was going to be a very dominant season, but came up a little bit short, if you will. I feel like this is going to be an easy dub for Carolina, but I doubt it because I don't even know who that team is right now.
This game is way too early to say one way or the other, but I will say this. If you want to have one of those banner years, if you want to be a preeminent team in the conference, you can't lose to Minnesota. Can't do that.
Not a Big Ten team, off the strength.
I mean, listen, if you talk about losing to Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, even Wisconsin or in Iowa, I can hear you out. Minnesota, I ain't hearing nothing. Last time those boys won a national championship, Betty White was in grade school.
Oh, right.
RIP to the greatest golden girl there was.
I'm trying to tell you. North Carolina State versus Western Carolina. Seems to me that it's either Western, Eastern, or Northern that North Carolina State seems to start out with these days.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little Wolfpack on Catamount action. Make this thing just straight ahead, no frills. don't play around with your food. Just go ahead and eat it and get it out the way.
1,000%. Last team to kick us off on that Thursday will be Wake Forest facing off against North Carolina A&T, which in past years might have been a stronger showing, but recently A&T hasn't quite been the same A&T that we're used to. However, neither has Wake Forest.
All I'm saying is when A&T plays against some of these Power 5 schools, strange things happen, and sometimes you end up with a viral moment and one more thing. Tell them, bring me my money. No, but in all seriousness, Wake Forest does have the problem of the transfer portal. As good as they have been, as good as Clawson has been in terms of developing, the restrictions and limitations that you need to transfer into Wake Forest, absolutely insane. It's like, oh my God, the transfer portal is going to handicap you all forever until you change these things because some of those rules are tough. But I digress.
Them boys in Greensboro ain't been right since they let Washington go, speaking of bringing my money. But, I digress as well. Let's talk about the Friday matchups on August 30th. Stanford, welcome to the stage. We'll take on TCU. Stanford, I know we're way too early predictions, but you want to talk about a team I have no idea what I'm getting. Well, it would be them.
Good thing we have no idea which TCU team we're going to see too, right? Because, we know with Sonny Dykes, they're going to put up points. We know that. Sonny Dykes, if he's going to do anything, that scoreboard going to go ding, 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 ding. The problem is it does the same thing for the other team too. So, Stanford, Cardinal, come on. We're going to let you in the house now. Be a good house guest and do something good. Show us why you're here, buddy.
You got to be really have insane endurance to be on a team like TCU if you're a defender.
Yeah,
because you're going to stay on that field.
Who you going to stay on that field?
Whether it's a 3-and-out or a touchdown and you're back in.
You're going to be on that field. Again, but that's part of that running gun / air raid type deal where you just know, hey, we're going to light that scoreboard up. It's going to go lightning quick, or we're going to get put off the field quick. But either way, it's going to be quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I know that's right. All right, on Friday, August 30th, we'll also see Duke playing Elon, which the Manny Diaz era is here. I don't know if you're excited about it, but I'd say why not? Why not show a little razzle-dazzle, Manny? Out the gate.
Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend. Manny Diaz, welcome back to the ACC, brother. It's going to be interesting to see how you step into those Elko shoes. Those are some big shoes to fill now. Those are some big shoes to fill. And if they feel a little big on you, put on some extra socks because you got to do something now. That Duke team last year, these past couple of years has been formidable, especially when Riley Leonard was healthy. But now you're having to replace Riley Leonard. You're having to replace a ton of guys who are super valuable to this team. You hope to not go back to the old Duke because Elko showed you that something else is possible for Duke.
So are we already saying that Duke is a bowl eligible, must be bowl eligible type team to feel success? That's too much.
If they get 5,
they gotta win 6. They gotta win 6.
If they get 5 with everything that they've lost, I consider that successful.
The new standard is the new standard.
No, don't work like that. Right. Don't work like that. Yeah.
What you mean? It's just picking up where he left off. So at least 6.
It doesn't work that way.
They're gonna win 6. Do you want to go bet again?
Let's do it.
I love betting Duke football.
Let's do it. Duke
football will win 6.
Let's do it.
Are we going double or nothing? Triple or
nothing? You know me. Okay.
So first time we bet, for those who are new to the show, it was $150 between Drake, our old co-host, which I got from him. You got $150, so I racked up $300. Then I said, I got a little big for my britches and felt like they were going to win 9 games, and they ended up winning 8. Gave Kenton $300. I feel like $600. They're going to win 6.
Let me look at that schedule. At that schedule. A little rich for my blood.
By Wednesday.
I got to call David Locke to give me a little bit of a raise before we get messing around in there.
Fair enough. All right, guys, before we get into more of week one action, I want to remind you that NFL postseason is here. Time to get in on the action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is super easy to use. You can have parlays, you can get a parlay hub, you can get prop bets, whatever you're looking for. FanDuel has got you. Go to FanDuel.com/locked-on and get your first win today. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Kenton, week one is great, but the Lions almost going to the Super Bowl is even better. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, and also Jahmyr Gibbs is a Georgia Tech guy. Just so everybody knows, not any questions there. He's a Georgia Tech guy. He's an ACC guy, okay? When Bama wasn't looking and they wasn't checking for old Jahmyr, hey, you know who was? You know who was? The 404.
Where did Jared Goff go?
He went to Cal, another ACC guy.
Another ACC
guy. You know what I'm saying? Jared Goff. Don't be player hating on B-Rad G, baby. Man, that's my guy. You know, I'm
at
just
this
saying.
Point, where did Dan Campbell go? Let's just look at all of it. Did everybody go to an ACC school?
I'm not sure where Dan Campbell went, but I know Lee McNeil, okay? Another NC State. Melifonwu. Yeah. Come on, Syracuse. Come on with it. Come on with it. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty. There are plenty of some of the best, some of the finest, some of the baddest brothers in the land that are now playing for my Detroit Lions are also ACC guys. And I'm so excited to see it.
Well, as someone who currently lives in the city, I need Lamar Jackson, former Louisville great, former ACC star, to go ahead and do the one thing I need, which is prevent a Taylor Swift Super Bowl. Please, Lord. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. But week one, maybe Taylor Swift will come down to UC Davis as Cal faces them on August 31st, that Saturday. And welcome to the party, Cal Bears. We are excited to have you. Don't know what I'm going to get from you, but by the time August rolls around, I'll have done my research.
Yeah, you know, Cal is in a very peculiar situation, especially financially in terms of the deficit that they're running that everybody keeps talking about. The reality is very simple. If you're a player on the field, that doesn't really matter to you, and it can't really matter to you. Like, you have to figure it out. You have to do good things. And I'll tell you, this is a must-win against UC Davis, or more so a can't lose, because, I mean, you know, nobody's expecting Cal to come in and take over the ACC. However, you can't open up your first year as an ACC team with a loss to UC Davis. You just can't do that.
1,000%. Things get spicy here when Clemson faces off against Georgia in Atlanta. I believe this is the Chick-fil-A Bowl, or Chick-fil-A kickoff, that we have each and every year, and Clemson facing off against a Georgia team that I'm sure is feeling a way about not being in the college football playoff conversation, and maybe Clemson as well. It's a good one to start off. Very much see where you're at. Clemson also had a very tough opening last season. We all remember the loss to Duke sort of changed the trajectory of how we viewed Clemson going into the year, but with this potential win, it could say Clemson is truly back.
Clemson, protect yourself, please. That's all I'm asking. That's all. Protect yourself. Make it again. I don't want to look at this scoreboard and say, we need to get Tyler from Spartanburg on the phone. You understand? You understand me, Dabo? Okay? We let you not get in the portal slide. We let you not get in, but you need to show and prove something, brother. You need to show improvement something.
That's very fair. If you have Jimmy John who's traveling all the way to Atlanta to see L, he might get upset and be the first one on the hotline. Yeah.
Extremely.
1,000%. Georgia Tech will face off against Georgia State on the 31st, which Georgia Tech, Coach Key, now we are at a point where we expect wins that are supposed to win, and Georgia State would be one of them.
Yeah, you remember last year, that Bowling Green game. That was one where we all said, oh, yeah, this is supposed to be, you know, this Bowling Green team ain't very good. They said Georgia Tech's not good either, thanks. So I hope that Key and the guys can get a win here in the situation where, again, if Haynes King is going to be the guy that everybody thinks he is going to have the type of season that everybody wants him to, it starts here. It starts here.
Louisville will face off against Austin Peay, which, again, I think is going to be a good dub right?
Yeah.
Don't see anything happening with a new quarterback. Is Brom still there? I'm not sure. Not Brom. You know who I'm talking about.
Plummer.
Not Brom. Plummer. Yes.
Yeah.
Plummer still there?
Yes, he is. But they cooked in that portal. They cooked something serious. They cooked something serious in that portal. And I'm gonna tell you, if Plummer can't get it done with that cast and crew, brother, don't worry about it. Get ready to learn some enterprise.
What's that song on YouTube where if God can't do it,
it can't be done. It can't be done.
There it is. All right, Miami will be at Florida. We have a little in-state rivalry out the gates. Listen, Miami, Kenton has been hype on you guys about your portal parties. He said y'all have been doing good things. I'm excited to hear it, but will it actually transpire into W's?
We were worried for a while about Miami, not just on the field, but also in the portal. We were worried. These past couple weeks, they came out guns blazing. Bow, 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 bow. All right, great. Now you got to make it happen on the field. We have talked about Miami for the longest. We're going to have guys.
Yeah.
We're going to have guys.
Yeah.
You know, I try not to use that nauseum because I know I use that nauseum a little too much. But you're right. We have talked about these brothers ad nauseum. At some point in time, Mr. Cristobal, at some point in time, listen, Jason Taylor, we love you. You know, you're a great Dolphin, great NFL player, did all the good things. At some point in time, this team has to put it together. They have to piece it all together. And you can make the argument that Cam Ward is the best quarterback they've had in some time. I could hear that argument. I could absolutely hear that argument. But with that being said, again, with Miami, it has always been something. Something goes wrong every single time. So we'll see.
100%. Virginia Tech will be at Vanderbilt, and just off the strength of ACC versus SEC, you got to win that one. That's a gimme.
You can't lose to Vanderbilt.
Virginia Tech with Drones, I feel like it's a strong showing.
Let me tell you something now. Kyron Drones is my guy. To me, if Virginia Tech shocks the world or has a really good year, he's a Heisman candidate in my eyes. He's that good, in my opinion. And the more I watch him, the more I like him. And I truly believe that if they're to do anything, again, this is not a must win. This is a can't lose. You cannot lose to Vanderbilt and then believe you're going to go on and have a good season. You can't do it.
You must have King Leo VT he must be paying you $1 million to say that.
What, $1 million? You think I need $1 million to show some love to Kyron Jordan? Stop it. That's a bad boy right there. I watch him play. Every time I see him play, he's making a play where you're just like, okay, all right.
Are you seeing a Michael Vick flash or no? That's aggressive. All right.
That's a little far. But I will say this.
Just shit. You said, oh my gosh, sorry, David. You're saying Heisman. So
I will say this. He is in between that level of where Hendon Hooker was, where he was there, and Vic. I would say he's in between there. I really and truly would.
And we know we love a Hendon Hooker.
We love us some Hendon Hooker on this show. This Hendon Hooker stand account here.
Okay. SMU versus Houston Christian. Welcome to the party, SMU.
SMU. The Pony Express is back, baby. Get it rolling. Get it rolling. You can pay players legally now. Free Sherwood Blunt. Okay? Free my dog Sherwood Blunt. But with that being said, his daughter graduated from another ACC school. She graduated from UVA. I'm just saying, free Sherwood. With that being said, this SMU team, they should absolutely handle business against Houston Christian.
Sounds like a plan. Syracuse will face off versus Ohio, which I'm excited to see Coach Fran and the boys see what they can bring, right?
Yeah, Coach Fran, I'm worried. Listen, he did some good things in the portal. I know that Gaston is coming back. I'm worried because I believe Kyle McCord is going to be their starting quarterback going into this next year, correct? Kyle McCord committed there. I'm still worried. It's tough.
What?
There's tough.
The bar is in hell, so ain't nowhere to go but up, child.
No, but here's the thing, right? The bar is in hell, but that still feels like a team that's just like, I'm not sure. I'm a little worried. I could see 5. I think that's about their ceiling. I think 5 to 6 is their absolute ceiling. Like everything goes right, they can get there. But I'm just
I
saying.
honestly think I borderline think they're going to get 7, but that's being aggressive.
My thing is, I'm worried about this game in particular. This is his first game as a head coach. Yes,
I think he's going to knock it out the park.
I hope so. I would hope so. No, this is Locked On ACC.
So.
And I hate the state of Ohio now. The state of Ohio is just a gross place. You know, I feel bad for the people who grew up there, but that's neither here nor there. The reality is simple. I'm looking at this game and saying, I just got a bad feeling. I don't know why. I hope the friend and the boys prove me wrong, but I just got a bad feeling about those Bobcats in this one.
I don't know, Kenton. I think that's aggressive, but you have it. Pittsburgh versus Kent State, which in simpler times I would have said Pitt rolls, but these aren't those times. And I don't know which Narduzzi I'm going to get. It's way too early. It's freaking January.
Pat, they gave you that year because you were the last Coastal coach to ever win one. They gave you last year. It's time. It's time now.
You might be on the clock.
Stop playing around. Don't you lose this game to no golden flashes. Don't you? Come on now, Pat. You better get it together, brother.
Virginia will face off against Richmond, which, Virginia, another year to prove. Last year, I think you upset some folks and definitely surprised and popped a couple teams in the mouth. But this year, I think it's time to not necessarily give excuses for them to see what they could do. Yeah.
This is, we keep talking about who sacrificed their basketball team for their football team to be good and vice versa and all that. As a Detroiter, many people are accusing us of sacrificing the Pistons so the Lions can be good and whatnot. But I'll tell you, UVA is looking real shaky in the light. Basketball team looking rough. Football team looking rough. Something got to get together. I mean, something. But very seriously, in this one, Richmond is one of the better FCS teams out there. And so Virginia better come ready to play in this game. They better come ready to play, or else it don't matter how many Tonys you got on that team. Tony will not be enough to get it done in this one.
Fair enough. We'll end on Monday, September 2nd, with Boston College will face off against Florida State at Florida State. And I'm going to tell you, Boston College, for all the things, loves a good upset, loves to shake the table. When you're first one out, you never can judge by week 1. Kenton always says judge by about week 4 or 5. And I figure Florida State, retool and regroup, and new season upon you. The one to know is right there.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing for Boston College and Florida State is this. Understand it's a new year. It's a new season, right? With all due respect, Keon Coleman ain't walking through that door. Johnny Wilson ain't walking through that door. Jordan Travis ain't walking through that door. Tofili Benson, they ain't walking through that door. It's not your job. It's your job to be the best DJU. It's your job to be the best guys that you all can be as you are. That is their job. It's your job to be the best Patrick Payton. It's your job to be the best Ventura Simon. That's their job. Boston College, same to you all. This is not 2023. Exercise those demons. Don't worry about what happened in that year. Castellanos is a budding star. Let him be that. Get him some help. That offensive line seemed to kind of get it together at points in time during last year. Well, guess what? Coming into 2024, 2023 was a year where a lot of people felt like it's over. It's over. Let 2024 be your we're so back year.
Okay, and on that note, that is week 1 for ACC football. We are going to switch gears here and end with some basketball, but I feel good about week 1. I feel like a solid ACC. It won't be undefeated because we have people playing already interconferential. You saw that, but I tried.
Interconference. Yeah. Conference play.
No. Interconferential. Like intercontinental.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Words are hard, ladies and gentlemen. Words can be hard.
Oh, my God. Don't record at night, people. I don't recommend it. Carolina won a basketball game. Carolina has yet to lose a basketball game in conference play.
Yeah.
Carolina is, in fact, holding the conference on their back, right? Which one is going to get Carolina popped in the mouth? I feel like it's Florida State, and I can't tell y'all why, but it's going to be one school that gets them caught slipping, and I might as well get the Florida State one out of the way so they can be full steam ahead. But I'm worried about an undefeated Carolina team.
I mean,
when it comes tournament time.
Here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can see why you're saying the next game because they seem to be peaking and playing so well.
Right.
I have a sneaky suspicion Duke takes them down in the Dean Dome.
I definitely feel like they split the Duke. I mean, the records don't matter with Duke Carolina, right? It never does. It's always about emotions. And Kyle Filipowski's going to do his big one, and Roach is going to remember who he is, blah, 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 blah. But something about that Florida State one makes me feel like that bench.
And I'm going to tell you, if you're talking about a team that's emotional, that Duke team can get emotional on you. They'll start crying on you in a heartbeat. They were mean. They stole our tables. That is not how you're supposed to conduct yourself in our house.
To be fair, out of all the Duke North Carolina games I've ever seen, I ain't never seen a North Carolina guy step on the table.
Let me tell you something. I don't care about none of that.
All right.
Okay? You have a section that is named the Crazies.
Mm-hmm.
You have children out there printing personal information about these boys and saying, or about these young men. You have young people in the stands saying things about these young people on the court that are very personal in nature.
Mm-hmm. Giving out real cell phone numbers. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If somebody disrespects me in my house, or if somebody comes to my house and I disrespect them and they beat me up, I expect them to stand over me after I done talk to them crazy and disrespect them and say, yeah, I walked in your trap and took over your trap, make themselves a sandwich, wear my Versace robe, and go ahead and leave. I expect that.
I just wouldn't get near the stands because them people be musty. Have you ever seen the Game of Crazies? All right. It's just musty. I would not be up in there. It just is. They be camping out there all day and night, and then they got to go into that game. They be musty. I don't care what nobody say. So I wouldn't even be in their face. I would just take my win and go on by my way.
For you to say, I know it smelled crazy in there in this moment.
Musty. For
you to say, why would you say something so bold, so controversial, yet so true? Why?
First of all, come and see me. I wish you say something. What you finna do? Be in the YouTube comments. I done heard crazier. Someone called us a boring podcast, or what they say we don't know what we talk about. I mean, it's every day of the week, so whatever.
Hey, it's life, It's life. We're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all right.
I don't lose a wink of sleep. I promise you. But I will say I'm excited about Carolina basketball. But I tempered my expectations. I've seen this before from Carolina athletics. I don't know if you remember this guy named Drake May, but tend to get excited about Carolina and when they want to do well. So
that's a soft program playing a tough, rough, tumble game. That's different. Basketball is different. You can't the stuff that happens on football on a play-to-play basis. If that happened in basketball, you get ejected. They might not ever let you back on the court.
That's fair.
Football, you got to have a certain temperament, and when you're making people apologize for saying, "Oh, F our rivals" or whatever the case may be, you don't have the temperament to be the team that succeeds in a violent sport. That's just the truth.
You couldn't help yourself, and that's all right. We're gonna get up out of here because we were having a great episode, and we're gonna keep it great. Carolina's on the roll.
Soft chin.
Who's gonna get them? Who knows? But I will say, ACC play, you never know who's going to get it. We got a lot more to talk about. Let's go over the rest of the games for the week and some women's action because we know that the women's getting spicier as well. Carolina just happened to upset Louisville the other night. So we got all those Sunday matchups to go over. We want to make sure that we get that in for you. So you don't want to miss out on that conversation. Wednesday, we will have the ACC giving us the schedule for 2024 football season. So we might go live and just, react to that one. So can't wait to talk to you about that. And until next time, Kenton Gibbs and Candace Cooper are out of here. So appreciate your time as always. Have a great one.